Hey guys, Catman Awesome 9 here. Figured I'd give you guys a quick little, band list talk, I guess, because I really don't have anything to talk about other than I maybe, very, very tiny chance might be able to go play cards tomorrow, which would really make my weekend. 3-day weekend, President's Day is Monday, we got President's Day off for the first time in like 3 or 4 years. It's pretty crazy. At least it feels like it. It's probably only been a couple, but it's felt like forever since they've actually taken President's Day as a holiday for schools. But I figured I'd show you guys this before I get talking. Tonight I bought a pack Cosmo Blazer from Walmart. Pulled Noble Knight Madrout. Pretty awesome. Pretty happy about that. Card has some of the best artwork I've ever seen. And not only does it have a great effect, and it does make Noble Knight Chaos what it is, but wow, it's just such a nice looking card. But anyway, on to ban list talk. Sangan banned. Bullcrap. That's something that makes me mad. It doesn't necessarily make me super mad, but it bothers me a little bit because Sangan's one of those cards where it was a filler card, you know? If you had nothing else to put in your deck and you had 39 cards, you threw a Sangan in there. Because it was a free search when you synced with it, tributed it, or it got destroyed. So, I mean, turn one set, and as long as they didn't summon TK and kill it, you got your search. It was a great card, but that's why it got banned. And you guys saw how abusable Sangan was in my Yubel deck, which I'm not saying that was part of the problem. I'm not saying it was a reason. I'm not saying Konami watched that, but I'm just saying that showed the spammability of Sangan's effect, because it's not once per turn, it's just limited to one, and you know, that was something that really startled people. I think that leaving Rabbit at 2, that doesn't bother me that much. Leaving Tour Guide at 2. I mean, those cards, Duality at 2, they're not threats, really. I mean, they're threats. But, like, some people are like, oh, I'd rather them just hit Tour Guide to 1 and left Sangan in the game. Well, Tour Guide's not nearly as broken as people like to say it is. When that card came out and it was at 3, I could see that being a really good card, because Nora summon it, special summon a level 3 Fiend out of your deck, and there was Zen mains, so it was an easy way to make a Zen mains, and you had that multiple searches. With Dark Worlds especially, I could see that card being way too good. You know, I never played Turbo Dark World, but, you know, I'm a little bit mad about Sangan getting hit. What else got banned? There's like one other, Zen Mighty got banned, and Wind Up Magician hit to 1. Wind-ups were given the D. They gave it to him hard. They smacked him in the face with it a few times, because they were just like, I think that when Konami made wind-ups and people used it to make the hand loop, Konami was like, are you guys serious? Because that was not the intended purpose of the deck. It was so you had super fast exceeding. So because then nobody played Magician, and then nobody really played, they played Shark at like 2, but it was mainly Hunter and that. So then they hit the Zen Mighty to 1, so they couldn't spam rats and do that. So everybody's like, alright, we'll take that, that's okay. But then people found a way to make it even more broken, because then they played it the way it was intended to be played, and I don't think Konami really expected people to figure out that you can go normal summon Wind Up Magician, special summon Shark, Shark special summoning, uses effect to make him a 3. Magician special summon, his special summoning I think counts as part of his effect. I can't remember how that resolves and how that makes it so you can do that, but then you special summon another Magician, and then use Shark's effect, turn him into a 3, special summon Shark, turn him into a 3, Magician effect, you know. Whatever, I don't even know how it worked. But anyway, I never played wind-ups. That was never my thing. Nice little thing. Sams are going to get a nice bump. For me, I like that. I like Sams. I think that Sams, Heroes, and what's the other one? Glad Beasts are like the 3 coolest looking archetypes, 3 of the coolest playing archetypes. They have the neatest idea. Like E-Heroes, they're heroes. They're superheroes. Who doesn't want to play superheroes, you know? Six Samurai, they're really cool looking. They got that super fast swarm ability, and that made them really cool. And Glad Beasts were tag out all the time, and that's a really unique quality. But know a lot of people are gonna whine because like, oh, they didn't ban Gateway. Ouroboros is gonna come out in the hand loop, and whiny whine. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Daigusto and those people who are gonna play that hand loop deck are gonna spend upwards of probably $200 on the extra deck buying Daigusto Emeralds and Evil Swarm Ouroboroses. You know, and really, why would you want your whole deck to circle around that? Because the deck is so much better than that. Sams are so good, and what's cool about them is they're such a good archetype that they can support themselves, and you can almost splash Sams with other decks pretty easily. Not here, Destiny Heroes with Sams, that works really well. I built that deck. It was really cool. You make Plasma and both Xians in one turn. Good game, you know? Like, I already have set up so that you can't activate any spell or trap cards because I'll negate the first one that you activate every turn, and you can only activate one per turn, and now you get no monster effects. And if you had a monster on your side of the field that was a big threat, like say first turn he made like Utopia. Now my Plasma takes your Utopia. Your Utopia's attack's 25, so he gains 1250. That puts him from 1900 up to 3250. Or not 3250, 3150. Great. It is 3250. I'm pretty sure. No, 3150. I can't remember. I'm really bad with math when I'm thinking like this. What was another one that got hit? One Day of Peace I think was kind of stupid to hit to 1. TK hit to 2 is really stupid because there's not really that many decks that run TK at 3 in the first place. Most decks, if they just splash TK, they run it at 2. Anti-meta tends to run TK at 3. Counter Fairies, the one variant that like went to YCS, did something special. I never paid attention to that. It played 3, but there's not that many decks that play 3 TKs anyway. And without Sangan, which was like the only reason that you use TK, at least the only reason that I liked TK was like, now that set Sangan you got's not going to get you a search. You know, that was my really happy thing with it. It is a major stall card because it's almost like a bottomless plus no searching, which is nice. But anyway, yeah, ban list does kind of suck. I was really kind of hoping that maybe, not Goyo, that was a really stupid prediction. I don't know why anybody actually believed that they were going to bring back a 2800 generic level 6 with Sam's out. Even if they banned Gateway, that would have been stupid. But their Smoke Signal to 3, that's nice. I like that, though. That makes my Kigeki plays way more consistent. And everybody who watches this is going to hate me just because I like Sam's. Because I think they're a cool archetype. I do like Glad Beasts better than Sam's, but no one can argue, you know, against the fact that Sam's are much faster and much stronger. Because if I take Glad Beast deck into Rated, I might win 2 games and then lose 5. If I take a Sam deck into Rated, including Rage Quits, I could go undefeated for 4 or 5 games, you know. I mean, that's because Sam's outspeed most things, and they have a good control variant and a good swarm variant, which is very nice. So, Collude at 3, Blackwings, Lumina at 3, Light Sworns ran 2 Lumina, most decks only ran 1 Lumina, because Lumina's really good, but I mean, she's a nice summoner, and I really like her for that effect, but the fact that you have to mill 3, and I mean, how many times do you actually need Lumina in your hand? I think, if anything, Lumina is a pretty heavy solar recharge target. No, I'm just kidding. Solar recharge usually, it all depends on what you have in your hand, but there's just so much that goes on with that, with other decks. Collude at 3, I'm not really scared of Collude, because Collude is nowhere near an Honest. I've heard people compare them. It's like the Honest for Blackwings. Yeah, it's an Honest, specific for Blackwings. So, you know, you can drop 3 of them and boost their monster's attack by 14, right? So you can get it up plus 4,200, which means you can turn a 3,000, or what's their biggest one? Their biggest one they normal summons like 2,000. So if they have a 2,000 plus 20 plus 42, they have a 6,200. That's not bad at all. But that deck is so old. I'm not saying it's old and bad, because it is still a pretty speedy deck, but so many decks that have came out since then outspeed it by a mile. If you were playing Blackwings versus, like, Light Sworns, Blackwings are going to lose because Light Sworns will mill their entire deck to the graveyard and drop 3 Judgment Dragons, and who cares if you have Clute in your hand. What's another deck that's really nasty like that? Pink Plants. There are a lot of Synchro-centric decks, like I just said, Pink Plants. And Quasar Synchron, they're so much faster, and they make Quasar. What's the point in playing Blackwings? I mean, they're not bad by any means. Gale is a nice splashable compared to the other ones, but there's another card that was Tsukiyomi to 2. What was the point of even putting it at 1 in the first place? I should have just brought it back at 3. Nobody plays the card. It's a Book of Moon every turn. That's what I thought. When I heard about that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's a Book of Moon every turn. I wish. That's considering it doesn't get solemned, which people will waste solemns on Tsukiyomis if they have something good. You know, what do you do with it? It comes back to your hand every turn and gets flipped or flipped, summoned, or normal summoned, and I think it can't be special summoned, so it's not like you can go, oh, that's cool. Normal summon, Summoner Monk, discard, special summon, flip your monster face down, overlay. Because that's a great play, but without that, you can't do anything. Yeah, I think definitely this format, Sams will see a nice comeback, and windups will probably go away in trade for Sams, because Sams are pretty much a budget deck at this point, because you can go buy 3 of the structure deck for $30 and have everything but the Shien, which you only need 1, so they're like $10. I mean, crazy news and prices today. I just found out that Catastro's running like $32. That's insane. I mean, I could see that card at $20 because it's a nice level 5. But with Brionac banned, that's your only out. So I can, you know. Oh yeah, Diva got hit to 1. I think that's kind of stupid because now people, instead of running Diva, and then using Diva to go into Gotchi, they're just going to run the 1 Diva and Mermails. That gives them more room to put in things like Abyss Megalos and Abyss DSs, and Abyss, the big one that you have to send 3/4 to. I can never remember his name for some reason. And what's the other card that we'd run? They're just going to go into like Marksman and make Catastrophe. I mean, they have nothing better to do, you know. I don't understand the ban list personally. They didn't bring anything back, but they didn't take anything that was too meta breaking. So it's not like they took Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn off the list with BLS or anything. So definitely, I will say that Chaos Noble Knights will be a very heavily played deck because why not? It's a very cool deck, very cool artworks. Very nasty exceeding and chaos material. I mean, Madrout, you can make level 5. You can make rank 5s with Madrout. So, make rank 5s with Madrout. Make rank 4s with Madrout. You can make anything you want with Madrout, which is nice. And Ignoble Knights do count as Noble Knights, which I didn't know that. So that's why I was like, Illisadin's just the whole reason that deck is never going to function right. No, he counts as a Noble Knight. So, yeah, that's about all I got to say. Sorry I rambled a bit, but if I do go to play tomorrow, I will tell you guys what I get. I'll try and get some more stuff for my Sam deck, and I'll try and finish that out. And when I finish my Sam deck, I'll show it to you guys and see if I can get your stamp of approval for the March 1st ban list. Anyway, Catman Awesome signing out.